Hello, I'm Steven Spielberg. Ride the movies at Universal Studios Singapore. A spectacular destination for the people of the region and the people of the world. A place where our imagination becomes your reality. Come visit us at Universal Studios Singapore, Resorts World Sentosa.
Off the southern coast of Singapore, Resorts World Sentosa features 2 casinos, a water park, aquarium, and Universal Studios Singapore. The second Universal Studios theme park to open in Asia, the resort developed by Genting was the 3rd most expensive building ever constructed in 2010. Occupying 120 acres of land and employing more than 10,000 people, the island resort is an all-inclusive vacation experience. Universal Studios Singapore is owned by the Genting Group and licensed from NBC Universal, taking up 49 acres of the overall resort. The park soft opened on March 18, 2010, offering 16 attractions on the opening day in 7 different zones, one of which was Sci-Fi City.
Please welcome our special guest, the director of the Transformer films, Mr. Michael Bay.
A year after the park was opened, Transformers the Ride was added, which was the first of the 3 Transformers rides around the world to open. But the most unique attraction, which cannot be found in any other park, is Battlestar Galactica Human vs. Cylon. Based on the science fiction media franchise owned by Universal Pictures, Battlestar Galactica began with a television series in 1978. A reimagined series ran from 2003 until 2009, 1 year before Universal Singapore would open. The show featured a human civilization that was extended to a group of planets known as the 12 Colonies. They have been engaged in a war with a cybernetic race known as the Cylons, whose mission is to exterminate the human race. The attraction based on the series would actually be 2 unique dueling steel roller coasters made by Vekoma. They would be the second Vekoma coaster to feature 4 across seating after the Flying Dutchman instead of the usual 2. Both rides would use LSM launches in place of a lift hill to begin the experience, and would be the tallest dueling coasters in the world, at 139 feet, offering intense aerial combat between 2 spacecrafts. At least that's how it was announced anyway. The blue track would be called Battlestar Galactica Cylon, while the red would be Battlestar Galactica Human. One would offer a more intense experience with 5 inversions, and the other would be a more family-friendly experience with no inversions. Cylon, the more intense experience, will be an inverted roller coaster with riders under the track, featuring a cobra roll, corkscrew, loop, and a 0G roll. It plunges riders into a 16-foot deep pit filled with fog to offer a unique near-miss experience, and includes sudden turns and drops, all while offering unique views of the human version passing in front. The trains are designed like Cylon Raiders from the show. Battlestar Galactica Human, however, has trains built to look like the Colonial Vipers. While it does not offer any inversions and is seen as more family friendly, it offers more G-forces than the Cylon track, reaching up to 56 miles per hour, all while flying past the trains of the other coaster. The tight and twisted track flies over the park's central lagoon, offering some amazing views of the park. After the ride opened during the soft opening of the park, just 1 week later a fault was discovered with the ride. During a daily safety check on March 25, 2010, the ride had a component failure on one of the trains which caused the seat to detach. No one was riding and luckily nobody was injured, but the ride was closed for inspection.
Battlestar Galactica is actually closed.
Yeah.
So are you disappointed that it's closed?
Not really, and I think we have to try a little later.
After this lengthy inspection, testing and review by Vekoma along with third-party experts, and months of cycling the ride, it was concluded that higher than anticipated stress and vibration caused cracks in the welded components of the ride's seat post support. A new seat post had to be constructed, eliminating the weld entirely and offering additional strength. The fault surprisingly happened on the human regular trains and not the inverted Cylon trains. The testing did show though that additional machined and strength reinforced parts will be added to the Cylon trains also for maximum safety. The park statement said the reopening of Battlestar Galactica would be a lengthy process that would begin only after the final engineering solution had been manufactured, installed and tested. After full testing, the ride finally reopened in February 2011, 11 months after it had closed. On the 28th of May 2011, the park ended its soft opening and officially held a grand opening celebration. Two years later, in July 2013, the ride was closed again. An incident which was never reported what had actually happened caused the human train to slow down and stall on a banked helix. Again, nobody was injured and it was closed for a second time for technical review. No statement was made and the ride was removed from all marketing materials, with rumours circulating it would be removed completely. With ridership dropping after the opening of Transformers and mechanical issues, its future looked troubling. Over a year later and still closed, reports continued to come out that the ride was closed for good, as it sat standing but not operating within the park. The official stance though was that it was closed while under review. After over a year of being closed and no announcements, some small changes started to appear on the ride's track. Then, surprisingly, after an extensive review, Battlestar Galactica Human vs. Cylon was announced to be returning in early 2015, with new, modified ride vehicles. Now 2 seats across instead of 4 and still offering 2 different coaster experiences.
It's good, it's finally open.
I think it's more chilling.
Definitely an exhilarating experience.
Because of the spins and the turns.
After nearly 2 years, it finally did reopen on May 27th, 2015. This 9-year-old ride had been closed for nearly 3 years over its lifetime, but now, finally with the removal of the seats, it offers the experience it was built to give, and rather than be removed, had its issues fixed. Battlestar Galactica offers 2 unique dueling coasters that offer 2 completely different experiences. Both of these roller coasters are definitely one of the highlights at Universal Studios Singapore, and the question can once again be asked: are you human or Cylon? Thank you so much for watching this episode of Expedition Weekly. If you enjoyed it, subscribe to join the expedition, follow us on Twitter and Instagram for updates on upcoming expeditions, and let me know where you would like to see covered in the future. We will see you next time.
There are basically 2 schools of thought.
Fact. Bears eat beets.
Oh.
Bears beats Battlestar Galactica.